astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 2, 1.
Thank you for joining me. As I said last time, I hope to be doing these much more often and trying to figure out exactly how to do them correctly, which is the current issue. So, I know you're not seeing anything yet. How about there? Now you see something? There we go. These daily videos, I'm going to try and keep them to an hour. So, just so you know, I'm going to be shooting for that. I will definitely try. This was actually brought to my attention by the Driz 567. I think it's an absolute great find. Let's go look first at Google Earth. So we're going to be switching to that. So hopefully on the screen now you're seeing Google Earth. And we're looking at these locations here. The observation location is a place called Allauch. Okay, so that is right here. The exact observation location is known. And we're going to be looking all the way across this water, all the way at the tip top of this Canigou is the name of this mountain. 8,500 feet high, and the mountain from here where our observation is 1,000 feet. Actually, it's about 700 or 800, but I'm just aiming high. So let me show you what's going on here now in this little observation area, and let's look at first what I've done here on Google Earth. And just so you know why you can see that on Google Earth, as we got down here, you can see this mountain quite easily from across the water. Well, that's because if I go to Tools, I've already entered in the fact that I'm going to change the options now and take the elevation exaggeration down to even. Right now it's at 3 times reality. So when we redo that, you'll see now we've got no view, especially when we get down here actually at the observation location. You'll see there's no mountains over here at all. And my current altitude is 1,500 feet, which is 500 feet actually further than if I got all the way down to where this observation is taking place. Okay, so now you see what we're looking at, and let me show you a video that you might rather enjoy. 1 second here. So yeah, let's bring up this video. And where is it? Alright, so let's watch this first video. It's obviously not in our language, or it's not in English, it's in French. But let's start out with this one. Alright, turn that volume down. So what we're looking at is a sunset taking place a couple times a year only, because it's when the sun sets in this certain location. So we're going to be fast forwarding a little bit here. Well, you can see it start to happen about right here. So keep your eye on this and you'll see that clearly we are starting to see some peaks behind or in front of the sun. And as the sun progresses further along, you're actually going to see it even better. Fast forward a little bit. And this is a known observation. And like I said, there's people that actually go out to look at this. People have taken pictures before. So what are these mountains to the globe heads that believe that things magically lift up due to refraction and get placed in at the end of the horizon? Which I think anybody who just really uses their head and not just listens to what people are told, then they'll know that that doesn't happen. That the light does not bend these things up. So we'll keep watching this. Then we're going to go back over to... So these are the kind of things that, of course, they're not going to be able to answer, so they're just going to have to resort to calling people names, saying that they're stupid, simply because they don't believe what they're told when they do. So you'll see here that peak there is the Canigou peak, the one we were looking at. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go jump over real quick and look at the... See if I can find it. My browser. Here we go. Okay. So now we're looking here at the Earth curvature calculator. I put in 1,000 feet at the eye height, even though I believe they report to be less than 800 feet. Let's put in 1,000 feet for fun. Target distance is 163 miles is the peak of that mountain. Calculate that out and we get 10,296 feet below the horizon. So again, that mountain is 8,500 feet at the very tip top. And so you've almost got 2,000 feet extra that you shouldn't be able to see, let alone any of that mountain. Any of it. Not just, oh, we shouldn't be able to see the tip, or why are half the buildings blocked, or all the nonsense from the Michigan to Chicago site. This one here is absolutely, completely, and totally impossible in any real world situation. And what we'll do here, let's go back and watch one other video of it so you can see. Let's go back to the video. Alright, and let's watch. I'm going to show you another video here. Let's watch this one. So same thing, again, this is something that is a known event, something that is known to take place. And so you'll see that sun setting behind the same set of mountains that shouldn't be seen at all. Period. End of story. So these are the kind of things that are killers to the globe, because it just can't happen. And you'll see here it goes setting again. And hopefully you're seeing the mountains behind it. If you're looking at the light in front of the mountains, well, that's clear. That's the reflection of the sun that is setting behind it. And again, you can see those mountains quite clearly. And there's quite a few observations on this video of the same thing. This one's awesome. Watch this one. Pretty awesome. So, and for those who say, why do you want the earth to be flat, or why do you, none of us want the earth to be flat. None of us want our lives to have been a majority of lies. But then again, we also, many of us, care about the truth and not just continuing to go through the motions and let liars be liars. Not something we are interested in. Again, like I said, there's more videos here. There's a good one. And so again, let's go back and look at real quick what we're looking at. Okay, so we're looking at Google Earth here. Let me pause that video before it gets too far ahead. And so for all the diehard globe guys who have an answer for everything, I would love to see an answer for this. And again, we'll pull out so we can see what we're looking at here. Angle down a little bit. So we're looking across here. And again, this miles is 165 or so. And this is the peak that we are seeing, this Canigou peak. And again, if you can see the bottom, maybe you can or maybe you can't. And I'm going back and forth trying to find a height, the highest I can get it. You can get it 87, 8600, 87. So at 8,700 feet, again, there's 2,000 feet extra. So this mountain can be another 2,000 feet high, and we shouldn't be able to see it at all. None of it. Yet we can see almost the whole thing. And again, if we pull ourselves back here to this observation point, spin this around, we'll get all the way down here. We're just going to now try and observe it as if we are, at this spot. So it shows me as 1104 is my altitude. And you'll see clearly that there's no mountains according to the globe belief. There's no mountains at all here. But again, and if you want to see them appear, what you can do is, again, I'm going to go up to Tools, and I'm changing my options to Elevation Exaggeration. I'm going 3 times normal. When we apply that, all of a sudden you'll see exactly what we were looking at. So sorry if this thing's screwing up to you. It's kind of screwing up for me. So across here we can see that this is the mountain that we're looking at. And this is, again, with the exaggeration turned on 3 times. So this is 3 times exaggerated. And again, if we turn that off, tools and options, exaggeration down to 1, which would be equal or even, and you'll see that there is no mountain at all. So these are the kind of things, and I know there's a ton more observations like this throughout the world. A couple other ones I've seen are in the same area, the Mediterranean Sea, and areas around there, where clearly we are seeing, I mean, we see more than that mountain than if I got up here. Okay, so if I'm up this high now, I'm at eye altitude, I'm at 52,000 feet right here, and I don't even see that mountain. Yet we can clearly see it. Let's go back to the video. And let's continue playing that. So you can see those mountains clearly are there. Hopefully you're seeing that. I'm not checking the live feed very often. So hopefully we can, let's see what else we got here. Here is another sunset. This one looks a little bit more zoomed in, but you can see here the mountains as it's setting. Not sure if you can see my mouse cursor either, probably not. But there's clearly mountains back here that it is setting behind. Again, right here, can you see these mountains? So, you know, the Earth is not a ball. I don't know what else to tell you. You can believe in things being lifted all you want. If you think these mountains have been magically lifted by the light and placed here on the horizon for you, then you'll believe anything. So it doesn't matter, I mean, why are you even watching videos? Somebody could say anything they want and you'd believe it, and as long as they have a professor title or some of what they said appears in a science book, you're going to believe it. And if you're not capable of just looking at the world as you're given it and saying, hey, something's wrong here. This doesn't look right. Why would I be able to see something that is absolutely impossible to see? Again, they're supposed to be, imagine those mountains are 2,000 feet higher, and you wouldn't be able to see them at all from our location. So I would love to hear people explain this one out for Daz the cameraman and all those fun guys, Slice Barcane, and those guys who think they're so smart because they're able to read books and then repeat it, and that makes them feel cool. Then they can go find a book that explains this one and then tell us all how this is refraction, this is a mirage. Tell us all how this is the same phenomenon as the waviness we see as, you know, we're driving a car in the desert. That this is the same phenomenon. This is just a mirage. This is your eyes are playing tricks on you. That's what they must say. And we'll go back to this one here, which I thought was even a better video. Just because it really shows you what's exactly going on. There's nothing that's lifting these mountains up. These mountains are here. This is where the mountains are. Now, do things get smaller as they go off into the distance? Of course. That's why it takes a unique situation like this. What we've got is we've got a mountain that is almost 2 miles high. Okay, that's how high this mountain is off the seawater or off the sea level. So it takes that because they've been reduced because of their distance. They've been reduced so much that they appear to be quite small now. Okay, so that's why if somebody, you know, why can't we see this all the time? Well, because there's not very often that you can be looking at something that should be 2 miles high and it's been reduced to this low. But that is the exact reason why. Just take a car driving away from you. Within 100 or 200 yards, that car disappears. And then we just scale things up. So when Bill Nye says ludicrous things like you would be able to see Spain from the east coast of the United States, well, the man is clearly lost. So you can see here that this is the peak of the Canigou, and I'm not even sure what the height of this is. I might have to go check. Maybe we can look at that real quick and see if we can pinpoint what that one is, because that's the Canigou. So let me see. We're going to flip back over here to Google Earth one more time and see what we see here. Okay, so we're at Google Earth, and let's see if we can come over here and see what mountains we see. So what I'm going to do is try and go back to the exaggeration, put it at 3. So I'm not sure if we're seeing this peak. Looks like we're seeing this. And this peak is 36, 37, 38. I saw 38. Let's go with 4,000. So we're going to pop back over here real quick to the browser. And we're going to see if instead, oh yeah. So what was that? 4,000. So I mean, that is, if that mountain was a mile taller. That's ridiculous. If that mountain was a mile taller, you wouldn't be able to see it. You shouldn't be able to see it at all. And yet we're seeing most of it. That's pretty crazy. So again, bring this back up. So we're looking at this mountain here. And if that mountain was a mile taller, you still wouldn't be able to see it at all. Yet we clearly see it. So would love to hear people's opinion on that, and I'll check the chat here momentarily and see what's going on. So let me ask first in the chat, just what do people think about that? Any globe heads have any good explanation for it? Be kind to each other, and don't lie to each other, whatever you do. And open your mind. There's truth inside. Till next time, guys. Peace!